So if you're stuck in a rut as a musician, you're probably doing at least one of these 5 common mistakes that I see all the time. So I'm here to tell you what those things are so you can get out of this rut. Starting with number 1. Number 1, too much social media. So don't get me wrong, social media is awesome. We can get inspired from others and obviously put ourselves out there. However, there are some big drawbacks. We're wasting far too much time on social media and we could actually be spending time on our instrument. There are so many great guitar players and musicians out there, and it can be amazing, it can be inspiring, but most of the time we don't feel that inspired. We're comparing ourselves to those people. I'm never going to get there. You know, there'll be lots of this self-doubt going on. They're much further on in their journey than I am, and actually it can cause us to kind of sink inside. Therefore, we're always stuck in this rut. Then get confused by everyone telling you should be learning this, you should be doing this is what you should be doing. And you just get like bombarded with all this info, and it can be really confusing what path to take, what you should be doing. Number 4 is all about gear. I quite often go that rabbit hole where you see a guitar, an amp, or a bit of gear that you actually like. You then watch a load of videos, read every article about it. Before you know it, you've wasted like hours and days and weeks just looking at this thing. When you actually do get the guitar, do you actually play better? That brings us on to mistake number 2, not being consistent. So guitar is not an easy instrument to play. So being consistent is one of the major things that most people don't do. So that means playing the guitar pretty much every day. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, you know, that is at least something. At least if it's consistent, over time you're going to get better. But most of the time I see a lot of people not actually picking up the guitar enough. Also, we're moving on to different things far too quickly. This kind of merges in with social media. You kind of see something you like, you try and figure it out, you play it for a bit and you move on without really getting down under your fingers. And then again, you're in that rut again because you're feeling like you're not progressing and you're spreading yourself thin across loads of different areas of your playing and nothing really gets better. So I have done a video on this which I will link in the description, and this is about how to spend your time when you're practicing. Okay, mistake number 3, going over the same old thing. This is kind of good, but it makes everything really stale, boring. You're not seeing any progress because you're just doing the same thing. But if you're challenging yourself in something new until you get it, then you're kind of moving on from there. Common mistake number 4, not getting inspired enough. When you're inspired, things just happen. Social media is great for being inspired. You get inspired from something, you take it, and then you inject that into your playing time when you're at home. But then you want to turn off that social media. Listen to new music. Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube as well actually is so good for recommending new stuff. You know, different genres of music, checking out bands from there. Yeah, just get out there and listen to as much music as possible. See what you like, see what you don't like, and be generally interested in music, because then again it will get you out of this rut because you're feeling inspired and you want to just play this stuff that you've been hearing. So going to open mic nights. Now that doesn't mean you have to go and perform, but that's just seeing live music. You know, going to gigs, completely different to listening to music at home. The next thing is actually having a mentor. So you can be taking courses or having lessons, etc. I haven't actually done a course yet, but if you do fill out, there's the form below. If you fill out that, there's about 5 questions, and it will really help me understand what you are struggling with, what you need, what you want out of a course. So I'll get a course tailored toward what your needs and your struggles are. And also you'll be subscribed to the newsletter, and I will be sending out lots of good content on that as well. Mistake number 5 is just changing your mindset. And this is something that not a lot of people talk about, and it's taking that word practice and just changing it with playing. Now, I got this from Guthrie Govan, who said this.
Practice is such an ugly word, isn't it?
Yes.
If you told me back then what you're doing is practicing an instrument, that would have been somehow a turn off.
Right.
I would have felt less inclined to do it.
Yeah.
Because practice implies discipline and hard work and concentration, and what I thought I was doing was playing.
I mean, he's completely right. I mean, I always used to call everything practice when I was just playing scales up and down, learning new arpeggios, chords, etc. Boring! And I think it should be how he describes doing it the other way, and is actually just playing the guitar, playing new things, challenging yourself. And if you just associate learning loads of songs as opposed to exercises, it's going to be much more fun, productive, you're going to see results. Now as you got this far, I'm going to give you another bonus point, and it's about this video that I did up here, and this is going to be one of the most important things you need to do in order to really get out of this rut, to really see progress on the guitar. So go and check that out now.